All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to map out a clear path into one of the hottest roles in tech right now, DevSecOps. If you've been wondering, how do I even start? You've come to the right place. We're going to break it all down step by step.
So, are you looking for a career that's not just growing, but absolutely exploding? DevSecOps is it. It's this incredible field that blends software development, operations, and, most importantly, security into one powerful unified role.
And we've got you covered. We've put together this explainer to be your personal guide, your roadmap, taking what seems like a really complex subject and turning it into a clear, manageable journey.
Our journey today has 4 main stops. First, we're going to start with the absolute foundation, the mindset. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the core practices you've got to learn. After that, we'll look at the awesome tools that make it all happen. And finally, we'll talk about how to take all that knowledge and turn it into real-world experience that'll get you hired.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the mindset. Because honestly, before you can learn how to do DevSecOps, you really need to understand why it even exists.
And to get DevSecOps, you have to start with its foundation, DevOps. Now, at its heart, DevOps isn't really about tools. It's a culture. It's all about tearing down those invisible walls between the people who write the code and the people who run it, so everyone can work together and deliver things way faster.
So where does the sec part fit in? Well, DevSecOps basically takes that amazing collaborative DevOps culture and injects security into every single part of the process. Security is no longer this scary department at the very end that just says no. Instead, it becomes everyone's job, right from the very first line of code.
Now, I know this all sounds great on paper, but why is this shift in thinking so incredibly important? Well, like a lot of things, it really comes down to cold, hard cash and risk.
Check out this number, $80. That's the average cost to fix a security bug if the developer catches it while they're still writing the code. Pretty manageable, right?
Now, look at this number. That's the cost to fix the exact same bug once it's already out in the wild, in production. And that $7,600, that doesn't even touch the potential damage to a company's reputation, which can be, priceless.
And this huge difference in cost is the whole idea behind the term shift left. It's as simple as it sounds. You move security from the far right end of the process all the way to the left, to the very beginning. By giving developers the tools to find these problems early, you save a ton of time, a ton of money, and a whole lot of headaches.
So now that we get the why, let's get into the what. What are the actual hands-on skills you need to learn to build your technical foundation?
Okay, I know this list might look a little intimidating, but don't worry. A fantastic way to structure your learning is to just borrow the curriculum from a well-known industry certification, like the Microsoft AZ400. It gives you a perfect blueprint. It covers the absolute essentials, like continuous integration, or CI, which is all about automating how your code gets built and tested, and infrastructure as code, which is a game changer that lets you manage all your servers with code instead of manual clicking.
Now here's the crucial part. You don't do all this stuff by hand. The real power, the magic of DevSecOps is an automation. So let's look at the tools you'll use to make that shift left idea a reality.
A perfect place to start is with something called Software Composition Analysis, or SCA. The easiest way to think about SCA tools is as an automated security check for your project's supply chain. Almost all modern software is built using open-source libraries, and these tools scan every single one of them to find known security holes or even licensing problems. So when you run a tool like Mend or Snyk, this is what you get back. It's not some vague alert, it's a super clear, actionable report. It tells you, hey, this exact library, like the famous Log4j, has a high severity problem. This lets your team instantly see what the biggest fires are so you can put them out first.
And SCA is just one piece of the puzzle. You'll have a whole arsenal of tools. You'll use static analysis tools, or SAST, that read your own code to find bugs. You'll use dynamic analysis, or DAST, to poke and prod your application while it's actually running. And you'll have other scanners to check everything from your cloud setup to making sure a developer didn't accidentally commit a password into the code.
Okay, this brings us to the final and I'd say most important step. You've got the mindset, you know the practices, you've seen the tools, but how do you get the one thing every employer wants? Experience. There's a really clear two-step path here. First, build your own stuff. Get a GitHub account, start a project, and build a secure pipeline for it. This is your personal sandbox, your place to play, to experiment, to break things, and most importantly, to learn. Second, and this is the secret sauce, volunteer your skills.
Find an open source project you care about or a local nonprofit and offer to help them secure their stuff.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is advice straight from the community. Volunteering is a golden ticket. It gives you that priceless, real-world, on-the-job experience that employers are starving for. It proves you can not only talk the talk, but you can walk the walk in a real team environment.
So there you have it. The map is all laid out for you. We've gone from the core philosophy all the way to practical steps you can take today to get experience. The only question left is, when does your journey begin?